Hello everyone, in case you missed it, this is what happened in round 8 and we'll start with the reigning premier, the Tigers, returning to the top of the table with a 10-point win over a plucky North Melbourne on Sunday. The Blues coming oh so close but just falling short. The Tigers started strongly but the Blues slowly worked their way back into the contest. Tagger Ben Jacobs getting the job on Dusty Martin, keeping him to just 16 touches, his lowest figure for the season. On the flip side, Blues midfielder Ben Cunnington, well, he set a new AFL record with 32 contested possessions from his 38 touches. The Blues dominated late in the final term. Spearhead Ben Brown missing 2 crucial shots at goal as the Tigers took the points.
Well, you know he's a beautiful kick. He's leading the Coleman medal. The pressure is right on, and unfortunately, he's leaked the capital and he'll know it.
On to the Pies now, and Collingwood's injury curse has continued as they went down to Geelong by 21 points at the MCG on Sunday. Now, Jamie Elliott re-injured his hamstring in his VFL return, and it only got worse for the Pies from there. Skipper Scott Pendlebury was confined to media duties and the coach's box, his ankle not yet ready. Another hamstring injury to swingman Darcy Moore had the Magpies' brains trust scrambling, while Tom Phillips was concussed in the third term. Geelong had the Pies measure for most of the game, exciting athletic cat Asava Radigalia in his first season, showing them how it's done.
Radigalia to finish a big goal. That is just magnificent. The aerial, the goal, the first, the moment, the opportunity. He's done all.
Brilliant stuff there from the Cat. Well, it was the game of the round, perhaps even the year. The showdown at Adelaide Oval on Saturday night didn't disappoint as the Power snatched victory from the Crows in the dying seconds. Port star Robbie Gray was unbelievable in a best-on-ground performance. He kicked 6 goals, 5 of those coming in the third term. Now, after trailing by 17 points late in the final quarter, the Crows mounted a comeback. Mitch McGovern stealing back the lead with less than a minute on the clock.
To win it. Still 50 seconds on the clock to give Adelaide back the lead. Oh. He has stared that down. Undaunted. The Adelaide Crows have come from absolutely nowhere.
So at this point, it looks like the Crows have the 4 points in the bag, but it wasn't to be. Power recruit Stephen Motlop had other ideas, and that is why he has earned this week's play of the round.
Everyone off the bat. 38 seconds, and it goes Adelaide's way, but they're ready. Howard pumps it in. They've got the outnumber. They all crash down. Flashpoint. Stevie Motlop. What a time!
Incredible stuff. What a goal. Motlop telling AFL.com.au after the game it was the best goal he's ever kicked. All right, from the high of the round to one of the lows, and it's no surprise that the Bombers are firmly on the agenda after they slumped to their 4th straight defeat. They're 2-6 after yesterday's woeful loss to Carlton. Essendon in a world of pain, the Blues running rings around their defence as they broke their drought, notching up their very first win of the season.
Perich to possibly give Carlton their first win of the season against the old enemy. He comes in. The kick is on its way. He's kicked the goal. Carlton have got the biggest lead in the game so far.
A relieved Brendan Bolton even managing a smile, although he has come under fire for this exchange with Essendon's Mark Bagley, the coach explaining himself on radio.
Yeah, probably the passion for our playing group got the better of me, Robbo, so yeah, I'll learn pretty quickly from that. Oh, I was probably just saying politely to go back to your huddle because I saw an excellent player amongst ours coming over the huddle, but as I said, mate, I'll learn quickly from that.
So there was no joy for the Bombers. The coach set to wield the axe this week, and after yet another poor game, Boom recruit Jake Stringer is certainly in the gun.
He just wants the easy footy. He doesn't want to be the lead-up player. He wants the ball out the back. He hasn't laid I think he laid 1 tackle today, but he just wants it on his terms. I think his work rate is really down. So he's probably got to go back and get some confidence. He's probably got to play VFL.
Strong stuff there from the King. Now, the Curnow brothers were magnificent for the Blues in the win, but they are both set to come under scrutiny for, can you believe it, touching an umpire. Now, this was Cat star Tom Hawkins last week. He copped a one-week ban for making intentional contact with an umpire. Now, after all of the talk, you'd think players would be more cautious, but this was Ed Curnow pushing the umpire away in the third term, and then 5 minutes later, his brother Charlie makes contact here. Hours later, up in Brisbane, Gold Coast co-captain Stephen May bizarrely used the umpire as part of his reenactment of a free kick. Now, we can tell you that Stephen May has already been sent straight to the tribunal on Monday night, and that's because the Suns fly to China this week to face Port Adelaide, and they'll certainly need to put in a better effort than they did against the Demons on Saturday. A 69-point thrashing could have been far more embarrassing, with the D's equalling the AFL record for most inside 50s with 83. Defender turned forward Tom McDonald cashing in on the non-stop supply with 5 goals.
Everywhere, and Tom McDonald can just about run into the open goal, and he check sides it through from the pocket.
Well, the Eagles continue to soar. Adam Simpson's men have now won 7 games on the trot after knocking off the Giants on Saturday. Once again, star forward Jack Darling was the dominant force in attack. Another 4 goals, putting him in third in the race for the Coleman medal with 22 for the season. And as for the Giants, well, their injury woes continued. They lost Matt de Boer to a hamstring injury, while co-captain Phil Davis was knocked out cold by a stray elbow.
Yeah, Jack Darling's left elbow totally and absolutely accidental.
And his afternoon is over. They're already without de Boer, question marks on Whitfield, and now their co-captain Davis, and they're showing real concern for him after all his injury concerns down the years.
Fingers crossed Davis is all right. It's now time to take a look at what's making news on social media. And Magpie Alex Fasolo was busy on Twitter yesterday watching his old teammate Lockie Keefe run around for GWS. He noticed the Giant handing his drink bottle to Leon Cameron, the coach, not too happy about being the water boy, though, in this instance. All right, time to go back to Friday night now. It was a case of buddy who for the Swans, with the superstar still sidelined with a bruised heel. Young Swan Ben Ronk, in just his 3rd AFL game, stood tall. The 20-year-old stunning the Hawks' defence, booting an incredible 7 goals, including the match winner.
Not Ben Ronk. Buddy Ronk kicks his 7th. And they're home. They're home.
Buddy Ronk indeed. Well, Bulldogs star Jack Macrae is becoming a real headache for opposition teams. The midfielder putting in a career-best performance in the Dogs' 14-point win over the Lions. Now, coming off 40 touches the week before, Macrae was once again red hot, notching up 47 disposals, 10 clearances, 8 tackles and 8 inside 50s. The midfielder leading the Dogs to their 4th win of the season, the Bont chipping in with 4 goals as well.
Richards looks down towards the half-forward line. It's a one-on-one battle here. Here goes the Bont leading the ageing Hodge. He snaps a goal. That is how you do it. Welcome back for the Bont.
From hot to cold, and St Tim Membry is struggling massively in front of goal. The forward kicked 1 goal 5 during Saturday night's 30-point loss to Fremantle, taking his total to 6 goals 12 behinds for the season.
Now, Tim's historically for us been as good a kick as we have. At the moment, he's having some issues with his set shots. There's no doubt about that. He's an outstanding contest player, Tim. He's a really clever forward. He'll work through this. You know, he's hurting, we're hurting.
A bad night for St Kilda as the Dockers put a week from hell behind them. Skipper Nat Fyfe back to his Brownlow best with 36 disposals and 13 clearances, but he is likely to face scrutiny from the match review after 2 separate incidents. The first, a knee to Jake Carlisle's head, which knocked him out cold. The second, a bump on Seb Ross. To the ladder now, and the Tigers happy on top. The Eagles and then the Cats move into 3rd. The power is inside the top 8 after their showdown win. The bottom half, well, the Giants are just on the cusp. The Blues are off the bottom, though, leaving the Lions as the only side without a win so far. And that's another episode of In Case You Missed It, done and dusted. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.